Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. We begin tonight with details on a deadly crash near Peyton. A grader collided with an oncoming train this morning. The driver of the grader did not survive. It happened at around 8 a.m. Police aren't releasing the victim's name at this time. As you can see, multiple train cars filled with crude oil flew off the tracks, and oil is still spilling from 4 to 5 cars. CN Rail is still on scene trying to contain the spill. There is no word on how much crude has leaked. The investigation is ongoing, but RCMP say visibility was good at the time of the crash. Meantime, 2 people were injured this morning after crashing into the back of a semi. The collision happened on Highway 28 near the Glendon turnoff. Police say a convoy of semis heading eastbound blew snow and ice behind them. When the convoy slowed to turn off the highway, police believe the driver of a pickup truck didn't notice and slammed into the back of the last semi. Both occupants of the truck suffered undetermined injuries. The highway was reduced to 1 lane for about an hour. Charges are not being considered. A Cahuengan man is facing several drug-related charges. After searching an area home, Bonnyville police found 40 grams of marijuana and drug paraphernalia. The accused is charged with multiple drug-related offenses. Police have not released his name at this time. Meantime, 6 people are facing charges after another drug bust in Bonnyville last week. Police seized cocaine, cash, and other drug paraphernalia during an alleged drug deal that took place inside a vehicle. Police have not released the names of the accused in that case either. Shovels and snow blowers were out in full force around the border city this morning, dealing with the heaviest snowfall so far this year. But how is the city coping with the cleanup? Anna Stanislaw finds out.
Hills of snow are slowly piling up as machines start clearing walkways. And with last night's snowfall, we asked you how the city was doing on clearing the roads and streets.
I fell on this very corner last week. I hurt my back and my neck and my hip. And I had to go to the chiropractor this week because right in here, right where the crosswalk was, there's a big chunk of ice and I fell right on my back.
Good as can be expected, I guess. You can't move it all at once.
It's inconvenient no matter which way they do it. If they do it at night, they're inconvenienced by the people parking along the sides of the roads, and if they do it during the day, they're inconveniencing all the traffic.
I think they're doing the best they can.
Barry Helm owns a landscaping and snow removal company. His workers show up automatically on the site regardless of the weather, and he believes the city is doing a good job so far.
People often want immediate service, but that's just unreasonable and probably a very expensive thing to do for the city. So just be patient, it'll get done.
And for the woman who slipped on her back, this was her advice for the city.
They tell all the residents that they have to have their sidewalks cleaned or they're fined, and they don't keep their own walks clean or the streets.
As for the city, no one was available for comment. Anna Stanislaw, Newcap News.
The city's snow removal budget for 2013 is $1.6 million. Well, with the recent snowfall, home and business owners have 24 hours to clear their sidewalks or face a fine. But bad shoveling techniques could come at a price to your body. In this week's Healthy Living, Nara Manisa takes a look at how to properly shovel to avoid any body aches.
William Reed spends his morning clearing the snow from his daughter's sidewalk. Reed is visiting from Newfoundland and has seen his fair share of snowstorms.
I think it's something to do. I just fiddle around with the snow, shovel the sidewalk, the walkway, the driveway.
While Reed says he doesn't mind the white stuff, he knows proper back form is important when shoveling. Now it's the same thing for Eric Beamish, who's helping clear out the snow from his apartment complex.
It's a really good exercise, but you have to pace yourself. Don't try to do too much.
Having the proper form and tools to get the job done is what will keep you from suffering from back pain. Over at the Home Hardware, there are many different shovels to choose from. They range in price from $15 to $35.
This is the shape of the shape of the handle. That's the friendly for the back because you're not bending to a straight line. You're actually got it up closer to your left hand as you're shoveling, or your right hand, depending.
Hutchison says the shovel's handle is an important feature.
When you grasp it, you're able to like actually twist and turn and hold on to the shovel so you don't lose the shovel, as opposed to the regular design with the flat type of handle on it.
Most of all, though, if you're planning on tackling the snow, proper form is your best bet.
We all tend to use our back to do our work, and really we should be using your leg muscles for anything more than your back muscles. And that's one of the things with this, you're actually getting more of a, if you can see your leg is going, pushing into it and then lifting.
Back outside, Reed is finishing up his shoveling. Even though it's a lot of work, he says he wouldn't trade the snow for anything.
With the frost, the snow, and all this stuff don't bother me.
Okay.
I'd rather come up here than go down in California somewhere and lie around. I got nothing to do.
Nair Manisa, Newcap News.